The Impact Project began when I had this visit that I was doing to Arizona, and I was visiting a landscape. My father was a geologist, and I was retracing our footsteps, thinking about what he would have talked about with me. A lot of the work is not just about geology or the landscape, but it also became about some other things that were going on in my life, like depression and some personal things that were happening. So I chose the darkness for personal reasons, but also I think also because I was interested in these things happened so long ago, but they also are giving out information that scientists are using today to discover how where we came from.
I think this series of photographs started as a sequence of what ifs. I was at the Headland Center for the Arts, casting around for ideas of projects, and walking at night, watching the waves under moonlight crash on the beach. And they would crash in such a way that as soon as they reached their peak, the moonlight would fall off of them, and all of a sudden they were a yawning chasm of black. And it was kind of frightening and exciting. And I wondered, how could I photograph that? What if I could photograph that moment of darkness? I think one of the images that crystallized this project for me, or sort of sent me off in a direction to gather more and more imagery together to make a series, was Moon Studies and Star Scratches, which is the first image run in Daylight magazine. It was photographed during an eclipse of the moon, and I went out by myself in North Carolina with a 4x5 camera and just kept moving the back of the camera around during the course of the exposure. And the camera would transcribe this kind of conversation back and forth between me and the movements of the stars, or the movements of the moon and the clouds, and things in a cosmic realm that I find so fascinating but have no way of grasping.
My name is Phillip and for the past 3 years I've been working on this project, Last Days, and it's documentation of the last 7 launches of the space shuttle. My father is a photographer, and he developed years ago a remote camera system to allow people to place cameras closer to the shuttle than they could physically stand and take a picture. And so his fascination kind of rubbed off on me. When NASA announced several years at this point that they were going to wind down the space shuttle program, we got together and decided that we needed to do something on a bigger scale than just covering the launches, which is what he has been doing for so many years. This picture is actually a pretty revolutionary picture in terms of the whole evolution of the project. And I had actually been shooting some digital images with a long lens, exactly like all these photographers were. And then when the shuttle got high enough, I stepped back with my Leica and some black and white film and made this picture. It started the whole thing off for me. For other people, I hope it can serve as a sort of tribute to this program and this legacy that the U.S. is leaving behind. And I also hope it serves, in the years to come, as a reminder to what we used to be able to do, and maybe as an advocacy for doing that work again.